The new year offers a blank slate, an opportunity to get things right. But statistically, about half of you will already quit working towards those resolutions by the end of January. On today's episode, we're going to go over 4 reasons why New Year's resolutions fail and how to set goals for the new year that you can actually stick to. Grab your coffee and let's set some goals. Welcome back, everybody. Another episode.
And we are back.
Welcome back to the Candidly with Coffee episode. I am your host, Janine Escobar.
And I'm your co-host, Michael Escobar.
If you enjoy our show, guys, please remember to subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified when we post new videos and episodes. Rate and review us on Apple Podcast. Also follow us on Instagram, candidly_with_coffee.
Yep.
Get some good candid moments, a lot of car time. Lately, not as many walk and talks because I've been walking on the treadmill, but you definitely get some content over on Instagram as well. But most importantly, comment below. Comment on this episode on YouTube because we love to interact with you guys in the comments.
Yeah, we do. We love to pipe in.
We love to, I just feel like I get to know you guys and I get to know my audience that way. And then we know what content you guys need. We like to answer your questions and help in any way that we can. And we've had a lot of people say that just by listening and watching our podcast, they've lost weight, made improvements in their lives. Like
we drop gems, that's why.
Drop little nuggets.
Yep.
Little nuggets.
Yes, we do. We ain't greedy with the information.
No, I'm going to crack open my Diet Coke. So sorry, guys. I'm going to do a little ASMR.
There you go.
Ooh, that's just so good. I grabbed one with caffeine because I need a little caffeine.
That's why the movie theaters do that. They show the ice cubes and pour in the soda. And it makes
psychological.
It yes. Makes you want to run out and get one.
100%. They know what they're doing. They use the ASMR.
Popcorn, popping the corn.
Oh, the best.
They know what they're doing.
They definitely know what they're doing. Actually, we haven't gone to the movies in a long time. I miss going to the movies.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
But there's not a lot of good content.
Nope.
It's where everyone's watching YouTube.
That's it. Podcasts are winning.
I know. I'm actually right now watching other creators like Vlogmases.
Are you?
Yeah.
You enjoying yourself?
I do. I like it. I like to just have it on in the background.
That's cool.
And catch it. Christmas was good to me. I feel like I was spoiled rotten.
It was good to you, huh?
Yeah, you and the kids like spoiled me.
Got spoiled this year.
I really feel like I did.
Hey, once in a while is good.
Yeah, like I didn't really ask for anything and I was just blown away. I got my Dyson product.
Santa showed up.
Santa came for Mrs. E for sure. And my kids too, they really went like over the top.
Yeah, they want to see their mama happy.
Gosh, and Alyssa's, that's because you're the best. I was like, oh, it just melts in my heart.
That's sweet.
My love language is gifts. And I don't know why that sounds bad to say, but it is. My heart feels full when I receive not just any gift, but receive a gift where someone paid attention or thought, I really think that my mom will like this, or I know she mentioned this one time or something like that. Those kind of gifts. That's why like your gift to me this year, I didn't ask for it.
No.
But it's something I've always wanted. Always.
I figure you could use it.
And it's the Dyson hair dryer and Air Straight, both of those products. And the thing about even though those are extravagant and luxurious, okay, but I like things that are more practical, even if they're luxurious or extravagant, something that I'm going to use all the time.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's like a good spend.
I know you care about your hair.
Yeah, of course.
You go and you get your hair did and you take care of your hair. So
yeah.
Why not use the best things on
So
your
I
hair?
like things that like, it's not like something I get to use only once. Like I get to use it every day. So.
Gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. And my mom's 2-year anniversary of her passing was on December 26th. It's always it's hard. I just think about her a lot all the time anyways, but even more so on that day. I really thought about her a lot and it's tough. I can't believe it's been 2 years, but it feels like 200 years.
It feels like forever, huh?
So many times I've wanted to, especially going through this situation with my dad, I kid you not, there's been a couple of times where I literally reached for the phone to call her. And I was like, oh my God, I just tried to call my mom.
That's crazy,
so
right?
Weird.
Yeah.
That is like a blow to the gut when you have that like when
It
you
is.
realize for a split second, I thought I could call her.
You had the reality set in.
Yeah, it's an awful feeling. But
Yeah.
I talk
bet.
to her all the time, and her memory lives on in my brain all the time.
That's all that matters.
It was different this year. Obviously, this is the first year I went no contact with my dad, for those of you who didn't catch up, not currently in contact with him, and was different for sure, but not, I've just come to the realization where I really cherish my own family unit.
Yeah.
Like you and Tyler and Alyssa. And then of course, like my brother, and I still saw my nephews, and we actually I had nice visits with my nephews, and it was great. But like at the end of the day, it's like you guys like are my core, like my unit, and that unit is going to grow when they have kids. And
Right.
yeah. So it's sad to think about the things that have happened and who you're not in contact with. I have to I look at the positives. I try to look at the positives so that I don't get too down and sad. And this isn't like I'm a new leg, right? And I'm now like that matriarch person in my family. And my goal is to have as much of an impact, if it's even possible, on my kids' lives and my family and you than my mom had on mine. Like I want to leave that same legacy that my mom left.
Yeah.
Because the feeling and the love I have inside of her for her, even though she's gone, that's what I want my kids to feel.
Yeah. They will. They do. They love you.
That's my purpose in life, is to give them that same unconditional love and support and being there and being a safe place and encouraging them, and just like I said, being a safe place. I think that's the most important thing. Someone knowing that they could always call me. I'm not going to give them guilt. I'm not going to give them grief. I'm just going to support them.
Same way you did with your mom. Anytime you needed her, her for anything, she never made you feel guilty.
No, and that's what I want to be. And I think that's my focus. My focus is not on what happened and what could have been, but my focus is now on what I want to be and just being the best version of me and being here as long as possible for them.
Yes.
Because I know how hard it is.
Of course. What did you say? You used to tell me is that you could, at any moment, drop off a dime. You could drop your kids off to your mom. She'll take them with no resistance.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead, bring them by.
No, and you know that never once, ever, never did I ever hear her say, oh, I take care of your kids, or I took care of your kids for so many years. She didn't list off all the things she ever did. Like never. She never even gave herself credit for a second for those things. She didn't feel like she needed to like state them to the world or to me for that matter, to make me feel guilty.
Some mothers do.
Yeah, she never did that. And in hindsight, I think, God, she did so much for me and never asked for a single thing in return. And the only thing I can do to honor that is to do the same thing.
Pretty much.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to be a very active grandparent for sure. Yeah, so you guys, we have the hot coffee topic. Let's see here. Hot coffee, on a lighter note, instead of the sad stuff, is Studio B. Cat's out of the bag. I've talked about it now a little bit, but not officially on this podcast. But Studio B is our podcast studio that I'm currently working on designing, and it is located here in Silicon Valley. And Candidly with Coffee is going to be, it's our new home. The new home of Candidly with Coffee is Studio B, Silicon Valley, and soon to be a podcast network of some sort. So how that's going to evolve, just stay tuned for that. But it's definitely going to be a fun new space for Candidly with Coffee.
Yeah.
And what that means for this show is, in addition to what you already get, because we're still going to do this whole thing, I also want to do interviews. I want to have experts in studio. Okay. I don't like to view podcasts that are remote, like Zoom podcasts and stuff. I'm not interested. It does not keep my attention for some reason.
No, me neither.
So I've never really pursued that for this show because I don't enjoy, it's not a good viewing experience for me.
A lot of people don't enjoy it.
You do not get the same energy from your guests if you're not in the same room.
Exactly.
And
it's all about bouncing energy off each other.
Yes. So I want to interview people that are relevant to the show that you guys can learn from, and interesting guests from all facets of life. And that's what we're going to be doing on Candidly with Coffee in 2024. It's going to be a very fun year.
Big things coming.
Yeah, big things. So I'm super excited about that. It's going to be a content studio in general. So not just podcast content, but social media. You're going to be doing a lot of content from there.
Yep.
Mauricio Mejia's podcast will also be broadcast from Studio B. And we're excited about the project.
Yes.
I am the executive producer,
Yes,
Studio
you are.
B. I like the way that sounds. Studio B Productions.
Because you just don't know where the wind's going to take us.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's taking us somewhere.
I love this stuff, you guys. I love the podcast. I love doing this, but my true love and joy is behind the camera, is the technical stuff. I love systems. I love technical stuff. I love figuring things out. Who knew? I'm researching lighting and sound quality and all this stuff I never in a million years thought that I would do. It just goes to show you, do not limit yourself or have tunnel vision and think, oh, I'm only going to do this and I'm going to stay in this box. Sometimes you have to pay attention to the signs of the universe and go with the flow.
That's it. Don't fight it. Just go with it.
Yeah.
Because people do that. They limit themselves.
They do.
They put caps on themselves.
And I could be like, no, we're just doing Candidly with Coffee and that's it. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Obviously we're doing Candidly with Coffee, but who knows what this is going to lead to? I'm open and paying attention to where it's pulling me.
Exactly.
And don't worry, I'm still coaching. Speaking of coaching, the 8-week challenge is officially open for registration. So don't worry about that. That's still happening. Now, might things change down the road with one-on-one coaching? Yeah, I probably will, as my time gets a little more strapped, limit that or even increase the price on that as my demand increases.
Basically work with just exclusive clients.
Yeah. So definitely that might change. But right now, the OG Body Bootcamp is back with an 8-week challenge. Registration is open. Everything you need to start your weight loss journey and get on track with your healthy lifestyle. You guys, it is time to invest in yourself.
Exactly.
It is time.
Stop BSing. Stop waiting for the sky to open up and send you a sign, or what are you waiting for? I would be getting on my guys lately too. Like, what the hell are you guys waiting for? It's time to level up, bro. You got to look like a warrior. You guys are looking like a busted can of beans. I'm sorry, but I call it what it is. You know? Enough with the censoring their feelings bullshit. We got to call it what it is. Men are supposed to be warriors. We're supposed to lead the pack. Or not, or are we not? They don't look like it.
Yeah.
They look like they're going to lead themselves right into the morgue soon. That's what they look like to me.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
One-way
foot
ticket.
in. Yeah, they're in a hurry to get to the grave.
The good news is, though, you can turn it around.
Yes, you can.
You can turn it around. It just doesn't mean that just because you're not there yet that you can't get there.
Nope.
If you put your head down, invest in yourself, and do the work.
Grind.
This time next year, your life, you could be living a totally different life.
Totally different. Look, totally different life, different mindset. Remember,
Feel different, act different.
all up here, you guys. It's up here. We don't possess. I keep saying there's nothing special about it. We don't have no special genetics. It's just here. Our mindset is strong.
No.
That's why we do the things we do. We're habitual creatures. We habits. We created good habits.
And the more I do, the better I feel.
Yes.
Like I was talking about, I actually did a live on my Instagram, and I was talking about how since I started HRT, I feel like I'm 25 again. But then I'm like, no, I don't, because I felt like shit when I was 25, to be honest. I was sleep deprived, had 2 small kids.
I was just telling someone that today. This is incredible. I'm almost 49 years old, and I'm way better than I was in my 20s. And I know why, because in my 20s, I drank a lot. I ate like shit. I was covered in body fat. Yeah, I was strong and on. I went to the gym. I did all that. I did have a strong mindset when it came to that. Didn't sleep good. A lot of things. Disrespecting myself. Reckless living.
Yeah.
Now we're more dialed in. We sleep, eat right, hydration. We're doing everything we're supposed to do.
Yeah. And
Treating your vessel right. Yes.
You feel it. Like you're less moody.
Yes.
You're just in good moods more often.
Yep.
You feel good. Like you do more things. You're more productive.
Yes.
You're more social. You fit more things in. You
Yep.
you interact with your friends and family
Yep.
better and more
Yep.
often.
And when your confidence is high, the rest of you is high. It's a high that you're on. It's very important. A lot of people aren't confident right now, not especially. And it all starts with the way you look and feel. I'm sorry, but that's where it all starts, because you look at yourself every day and like, damn, I don't feel good. So if you don't feel good, your mind don't feel good.
It's true. It's true. And it's something that is within your control, which that's the
Yes.
sad part. Because why don't you? What stops you from investing in yourself?
I don't know. People put too much on it, overthink it, think it's too hard.
I don't know. Like
it's too much work.
Even like my challenge. Okay, it's $149. You go to dinner with your husband and have cocktails, and your bill's $149. You don't blink an eye at going to a nice dinner with your husband and having a $150 restaurant bill.
Sushi's that much nowadays with two people and drinks.
But you'll ponder, oh, I don't know, it's $149. Something that could literally be the catalyst that changes your life.
Even in my car community, muscle car guys, I'm like, dude, you spend more on gas than you do on a macro plan, on assessment, at least to get you started.
Yeah.
But no, they overthink it. I don't know what it is with them. It's weird.
Yeah, it
makes
is
no
weird
sense.
because I didn't have that mindset. I didn't have
No.
I didn't know there was even an option to hire coach. Back then there wasn't. You couldn't get your macro assessment. It wasn't when I started with Matt. I just thought, shoot, I got to do this. It was the best investment I ever made. It was $800 a month to personal train with him.
I didn't even personal train with him. Just his eating plan was $800 that he did for me for 3 months.
Yeah,
for him to guide me and coach me, but he wasn't personal training me.
Yeah, he did a 3-month program, which was not anything like my one-on-one.
Not even, no.
Okay, you get a piece of paper and you get Bro Science Diet.
Yes.
Was $800.
Yes. And I'm eating what he's telling me what to eat, not what I want to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's different.
You're not learning.
No.
You're just going based off.
Yes.
So different. But
So
it still
different.
helped you.
It did. It helped me. Got me lean. It worked. It helped you
And
too.
it helped me too. It was the best money I ever spent. I did that with him for a year, $800 a month. So almost, what is that? Almost $10,000?
Yes. 8 times 12,
People would think that's crazy, right? It was the best $10,000 I ever spent.
Leveled you up. Taught you a lot about yourself.
Not a single regret. You know what I mean? You make things happen. You shift things with your finance. I always feel like that. Sometimes you have to
Get rid
go
of some
before you're
things.
ready.
Yeah.
Spend more than you think you can afford and let the universe make it happen.
Yes.
You'd be surprised
Facts.
at the things that you can shuffle around and make something happen if it's important to you.
Exactly. But people don't put enough importance on it, especially on their health. It's crazy. They put it to the side. They brush it like it means nothing. But yeah, they want the white picket fence, the house, nice cut green grass, the new car. You want all this other stuff that means shit in the end, honestly.
But it's like they want it, but they're not willing to do it. It's like when someone sees me and they're so like, wow, like you're so in shape, like you're so fit. Wow, how do you do that? And I just think I'm nothing special. You could do it too.
Exactly.
Like you can do it too.
Just gotta lock in, man. You gotta lock in. You gotta zone in and do it and follow the program, and that's it. And tell yourself, I'm gonna do it, not half-ass. That's a problem. Is people half-ass shit. You can't do that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You have to
Gotta commit.
You have to commit for
You do.
sure.
That's it.
You'd have to commit, but time's gonna pass anyway, and time goes so freaking fast.
Yes, it does. A year goes by quick.
Just
we'll
commit.
be talking about this podcast right here. Next year, we're going to be a whole different space. But we'll come back to this and be like, man, remember we talked about that a year ago? And you same people are going to be sitting in the same chair thinking like, damn, I wasted a whole year. It's true, though. A lot of people are going to
I know. I'm
waste a
sure
whole
we
year.
had this conversation last year.
Probably did.
How many of you wish you would have listened last year?
Yes.
Because you'd be living a whole different life.
Yep.
On that same token, how many of you did listen? How many of my clients out there did listen and you turned a corner and you changed? Many of you. I coached many of you into changing your lives. But to the ones that are just listening day in and day out,
Just listening.
but not taking action, don't you wish you would have took an action last year? And don't let another year go by.
Yeah. Level up, ladies, especially you single ladies. The dating pool gets hard as you get older. So one way to guarantee you grabbing yourself a nice looking man.
Oh my goodness.
You better level up. That's the truth. And I tell that to my guys too. It works both ways, but that's the truth.
It really, yeah, it definitely works.
Is
both
it not?
ways.
I
No.
know it's uncomfortable. Oh, is he talking about me? What do you mean level? Yes, level up. You can't be looking like a torta. Sorry. You know
Oh
what I'm
my
saying?
God.
It's the truth. You got to level
bad.
up. Yeah, it is what it is.
It's okay because I was a torta at one point.
So was I. So was I. We did something about it though.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
was on my
difference.
way back there too. This
Something
year,
about it.
I was like, whoa.
Years ago, I was on my way back and then some.
Yeah.
You've seen that picture of me right after COVID? I look like a beach whale on that
When
couch.
you look like a burrito?
Yeah, like a
that
burrito on
one,
that couch.
you look like
I couldn't believe it. Whoa, I was slipping bad.
Slipping big time.
Yep.
All right, you guys, moving on to Comment Corner. Mina Rose, 3193. Alyssa is so pretty and exotic in her features. She has that European or Latina beauty. she's referring to the episode I did with Alyssa, my daughter, the last episode. If you didn't tune into it, episode 476. It's quite popular. And she has those Eastern European features because her dad is half Polish. Yep. And Alyssa definitely has that Eastern European exotic look.
Yeah, she does.
When she was an acrobat and she would wear the tight buns and the outfits, I always thought, wow, if I didn't know you, I would think you had a Russian accent without even talking to her.
Wow. She has those features.
Yeah, she definitely has that Eastern European look. All right, the next one is, let's see, Alana M, 4803. This is such a good episode. Hearing a piece of your daughter's story reminds me of my daughter. She was a competitive gymnast for 7 years, and while we loved the experience, her mental health really suffered. It's been 1 year since she retired. She's 15, and the emotional roller coaster has been something. We are much closer now, but it's sad what the sport does to kids. I am happy to see your daughter is on the other side of things. As a mom, I can relate so much to this. Thank you for sharing your story. You are not alone. You know what? I loved this comment, and I actually talked about it with Alyssa. We just scratched the surface on that whole experience with her acrobatic, dealing with other parents, dealing with her coaches.
Oh, it was a nightmare kind of, to be honest with you. It wasn't all pleasant.
No.
It was stressful.
And we just barely even touched the surface of it in the episode. And I got several messages about it, not only for gymnasts, but for parents of children in competitive sports and higher level sports. I think it's important to have conversations around that. So Alyssa agreed she's going to come back on and we're going to dive a little deeper.
That's good. Because I remember she went through a rough transition, and I remember you were trying to like get her away from it because it wasn't good on her mental health.
I wanted so bad for her to quit, but I didn't want to force her to quit.
Yeah.
I wanted to support her, but I saw what it was doing to her physically and mentally.
Yes. Yes.
During
she was
the
beating
process,
her body up bad.
Physically and mentally, just horrific. And then the transition out of it was a whole other trying to find herself. It was such a big part of her life for so long that she was lost.
You're right. Like you said, I know you mentioned in somewhere in the episode that in 2020 she wasn't doing too good.
Right.
During the lockdown of the pandemic.
Right.
She had no structure, nothing going on. It was driving her mental.
Yeah. And she had layers, right? So she was a competitive athlete. And then she got out of actually competing, but then coached because she wasn't ready to let go altogether. So she still had some of that stress from the coaching. She was still in the world.
Yes.
And there's so much that we could go into on that. And I think that could really help parents, that could help kids who are coming out of it. So we're definitely going to have her on again, and we're going to dive deeper into that because it was scary. It was scary. I can honestly tell you there were times during that time in her life that if it was too quiet in her room, I would panic.
Yeah, I remember.
Do you remember?
Yeah, you go in and check on her. And I told you too, I said, go in and check on her. Because it takes one to know one. I went through my episode a year before her, so I was like, go check in on her. She's not looking too good.
I would panic if she was too quiet or hadn't come out of her room. Suddenly, like a panic would come over me, and I would call the house and say, Tyler, can you go just check on Alyssa? I just wanted him to get eyes on her. It's just scary, you guys, because you cannot take mental health for granted. You got to pay attention to the signs and the struggles. And she definitely struggled, but she's on the other side of that, and she's stronger for it. And so gonna have her back on because I think that a lot of parents, and I know I have a lot of parents, a lot of moms on here with kids and athletes. And I know we want them to be the best and we want them to do good and all of that stuff, but there's things that you got to pay attention to.
Yeah, do. Competition comes a price tag.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. The next comment is Felicia A8211. Awesome episode. I loved seeing the wonderful interaction between you and your daughter. Thank you so much. It was really a fun episode to do, and it had great feedback. Like people loved it. And I think that gave her the confidence. Wow, I think maybe I'm going to have to come back. I think she just got a little bit in her, a little nervous because the podcast has grown and she was afraid, I think, that
she wouldn't do so well or something.
Yeah,
that she wouldn't flow naturally with you. But all you got to do, the trick to this is just talk. Be yourself. Talk. We don't script nothing. Yeah,
but I think what she was worried about was that people, they're used to us, and she suddenly, sometimes when you watch other podcasts and then they throw a wrench in it and have some random person on, all of a sudden everyone complains in the comments. and doesn't like the episode or it flops.
Yeah.
I think she was worried about it flopping.
Nah, I knew it would do good. I knew they were interested in your daughter. You know what I'm saying? She had questions already beforehand.
Yeah, I know.
So, nah, I knew it would do good.
And I appreciate it, you guys, by the way. I feel like this is my community. Everyone was so kind in the comments. These are just a few. There was dozens of comments, and you guys were so kind. And I appreciate that so much because let me tell you, I was extra careful watching those comments because if there was somebody who was going to comment something rude or nasty, they were going to get the wrath of Mama Bear like you've never seen before. And then I would delete and block them to make sure Alyssa never saw it. But I didn't have to do that because everybody was so amazing. And it just makes me appreciate our listeners so much. You guys really just made it a great experience for us and a great experience for her. And now she's going to come back because of it.
And a great Christmas experience for everybody.
Yeah. So it was a good little Christmas present to me and to all of you guys. All right. Let's get into New Year's resolutions now.
Oh, no. Here we go with the New Year's resolutions.
I already have a bad attitude.
I do.
I'm not
sounds like a broken record.
I'm not entering it with a bad attitude. I want to help people set New Year's resolutions.
All right, let's go.
That work. But the history of resolutions.
98% failure rate.
Where do you get that? You pulled that out of your ass.
I did. I just made that up.
You just pulled that completely out of your ass.
I did.
Because I have statistics.
All right. Let's hear statistics.
The history of resolutions, though, historically, the first recorded people to set New Year's pledges, later to become known as resolutions, are the ancient Babylonians, 4,000 years ago.
Wow. That's a long time ago.
Yeah. So why do we set New Year's resolutions? Okay. The new year offers a blank slate, an opportunity to get things right. When we set New Year's resolutions, we are utilizing a very important concept called self-efficacy, which means that by virtue aspiring to a goal and following through on it, you have a sense of control over what's happening in your life. It's like you're guiding yourself. You're creating like a map for where you're going.
Okay.
And so that is a concept called self-efficacy.
Self-efficacy.
But why do we never fulfill our New Year's resolutions?
Never.
Why aren't we successful? We're thinking too big a lot of times. A lot of times is we just, all of a sudden, okay, we aren't doing anything. And then January 1st, we think we're going to do all the things.
I agree with you on that.
Okay, that's a mistake. We had an episode one time a while back called Gangbusters. That's what I call gangbusters.
Yeah, you're doing too much. All of a sudden, you're sedentary and you think you're just going to get in shape. No, there's steps to that.
Yeah, you have to be more intentional with your resolutions if you want them to work.
Yep.
Researchers suggest that only 9% of Americans that make resolutions complete them. So you were pretty close. So 92%
I think they're giving them
rate.
too much credit, but okay.
Research goes on to show that 23% of people quit their resolutions by the end of the first week.
Damn.
43% by the end of January. There are 4 reasons why people seem to fail at New Year's resolutions. Okay, let's go over them.
Let's see what they are.
Goals should start at a time of change or need for change. So many resolutions are set because it's tradition. Goals are your vision of what you would like the future to look like. If you are setting a resolution for tradition's sake, then your motivation will be lacking compared to a goal set because of need. So you don't just say, oh, I just want a bigger house or I want a perfect body. You have to be specific in your goal.
Yep,
you want
agreed.
to improve your cholesterol numbers. You want to increase your muscle mass. Specific goals, not just very vague, idealistic things. Okay, you have to be more specific and intentional when you're setting goals.
Agreed.
Expect obstacles. No matter how small or straightforward the goal is, there's always going to be obstacles, and the road is not going to be a straight, perfect road.
Roadblocks.
And the minute people hit the obstacle and fail at their New Year's resolution, they just go, oh, I failed. Next year. And they give up.
They can't get over the 6-foot wall. They're like, I give up. It's too hard. I quit.
Yeah, the best thing to do to get around this is to identify what potential obstacles might be and create a plan to get around them or create a plan to go through them regardless. And know that just because I can't stand it, by the way. Everyone knows my feelings on this if you've been listening for a while, like 75 hard. I can't stand that challenge.
No.
Because to me, it's an all or nothing challenge and it's supporting an all or nothing mentality. Because if you notice that particular challenge, the minute they mess up, they go back to square one. They're back on day one. So you could get to day 56. And if you don't complete all the requirements on day 56, you're back to day one. You're like failing and you go back to the starting point. To me, that is supporting an all or nothing mindset and all or nothing attitude. And I know a bunch of people are probably going to do 75 hard starting January 1st.
Don't do it.
I'm not a fan.
Nope.
I just don't think it creates good mindset around setting goals, hitting obstacles, not being perfect, and the fact that you can keep going. Up on a day 56, but tomorrow's day 57.
You're going to have those days.
But
Let me
if
tell you
you-
something. You're going to have those days.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't care who you are. You're going to have those days. Me and her have those days once in a blue moon. It happens. Doesn't mean you quit. Oh, I'm just going to quit. No. It's not
But it doesn't mean that you go back to square one.
No.
That's why I don't like those kind of challenges. And I think that they perpetuate the fact that people don't follow through with their resolutions. So they feel like oh man, I'm at the bottom of the mountain again. I got to climb up.
No.
Nope. All right. This one's a big one. When you set a goal, it's okay to think big, but you have to, the way the reward system works in the brain, you have to have smaller, measurable chunks of the goal that you can pat yourself on the back for along the way. That's what's going to keep you going.
Agreed.
Goals that are measured. And also you want to pick goals that you can actually measure. It's not just like a shot in the dark and there's no way to measure that's why it's get in shape. How do you measure that?
Yeah, how do you measure that?
How do you know if you're getting closer to your goal? On day 25 of your goal, are you getting in shape? It's too vague. You got to have measurable goals, specific goals.
You got to know what kind of shape you're in first. Like, where are you at? Can you even walk a mile? No. Okay, we'll make that a goal for us. Let's see if you get to mile number one. Let's start that for now.
Yeah.
Once you get that, and that becomes relatively easy, then let's go for mile number two, little by little.
Yeah, and the way the brain works, if you say, you know what, I'm going to walk a mile, and then if you walk the mile, you feel proud of yourself. It actually increases motivation. You're like, yeah, I did it.
You did it.
I actually did it.
Exactly.
Like how I felt with Vlogmas, right? I set a goal. I was going to do Vlogmas, 25 days of daily vlogs. When I completed that goal, I pat myself on the back. I was like, I did it. Like I said, I decided to do it. I committed to doing it and I executed it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is how goals, that's how you need to do. You have to have the small measurable goals. If I would have just said, you know what, I'm just going to try to do a lot of vlogs. I'm going to try to vlog often. And when would I have celebrated that? It's too vague. I wouldn't have celebrated. I'm like, can I give myself a pat on the back? Now I did a lot of vlogs. No, be specific.
Yeah.
So when I hit that 25, I felt like I climbed the mountain, like I succeeded. Yeah. Now what's next? And that's why, if you notice, even when I'm talking about vlogging, I'm not just saying, I'm just going to try to vlog more, guys. I'm actually trying to think like, you guys, I'm trying to come up with a commitment, a schedule, a commitment to you that I am going to vlog this often and I'm going to post it on these days because it's specific and it's measurable.
Exactly.
It's a goal for me, but it's something that then you guys could come to expect. But that's how I set a goal that's actionable.
Yeah.
Not just, I'm just going to do more vlogs.
No, doesn't work that way.
What does that mean?
No.
It doesn't work and you'll end up falling off. You have to have more structure. We thrive as humans on boundaries and structure in every aspect of life, whether you like it or not.
That's true. I'm one of those people. I do way better with structure than not structured.
And then the fourth reason why New Year's resolutions fails is they lack accountability. There's got to be an accountability factor in your goal. If you just have a secret New Year's resolution, you're going to fail because you're not going to have to answer to it.
Yeah. And I think that's why men, I don't know about your ladies, but men lately, men are different today. They don't want to be held accountable. They don't want to be called out. So they're not committing. They want to. I've had a few reach out, but they don't want to commit because they're afraid. They don't want to be held accountable. I'll call them out. They know how I don't mess around.
So if you're one of those people that's going to do this weight loss challenge, or I'm going to do this, that, or the other, but I'm going to do it in secret, chances are it's because you have one foot out.
Yes.
You don't want to be held accountable.
Yep. You give yourself an out.
Studies show that people who not only write their goals, but set a way to be accountable for them will be twice as likely to achieve them. Accountability means that you're responsible to someone to accomplish the goal. This can be very motivating. There are 4 ways you can set accountability. Tell a friend, create or join an accountability group, use technology like setting measured milestones on an electronic calendar, or hire a coach. My Body Bootcamp covers a lot of those because I do the consistency trackers. That's the electronic piece.
Yep.
I'm your coach. That's the coach piece.
Yep.
The group, the accountability group, that's the group piece. That's why a challenge, even though I'm not necessarily over the moon about challenges in some regards, like the 75 hard.
Yes.
On the Body Bootcamp, I know based on history with my clients that the people that join these boot camps have better success and better results than people who are just indefinitely subscribers to my program.
Exactly. You see the difference?
They just are. And I probably shouldn't admit that on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's why I went back to the challenges. I want to see more success stories. I want to motivate you guys to be successful. I want to hold you accountable.
That's it. That's why people will say online, well, like, what do I need to hire you for? What do I need a coach for? Because you need to be held accountable. You don't want a coach because you don't want to be held accountable. You don't want me to call your ass out. That's what it is. You want to ski through life and be sneaky and hide in the bushes like that Homer Simpson where he fades away in the bushes because you don't want to be held accountable.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, men of today are not what they used to be. They do not like being called out and held accountable. Guess what? I'm going to keep calling them out. I'm going to keep my foot on their neck because they deserve it.
Yeah.
Period. They don't get no passes. Nope.
That's a big one, I think. The accountability, that's why it's so crazy. And I've noticed this so much. If people do coaching with me, one-on-one coaching for just a little bit, like a month or two, and they're getting in their stride, they're on track. There is just something that happens the minute that your check-ins stop. Even though nothing else needs to stop, you know what to do. You know what macros to follow, the workouts to do.
Yep.
But you start to fall off.
Yep.
Because why? The accountability piece is gone.
Yes.
I recommend my clients that are not going to renew, plug another accountability piece in. Get a friend to do it with you. Put your goals on the refrigerator. Tell your husband to hold you accountable. Something, but you have to have that piece. It doesn't sound like it's that impactful. It's just a huge impact.
Think about this. There's a reason why AA has sponsors. When you're about to slip and go for that drink, or NA, you're about to have that drug you're craving, you call your sponsor. I'm having a weak moment, man. And they talk you off the bridge.
Yeah.
Like, all right, dude, don't jump.
You're right.
Let's hang out. Let's
Get you
go
back
for a
on
walk.
track.
Let's go get some coffee. Let's get you back on track. Well, that's what accountability coaches do.
Exactly.
But you're right. When people don't want to check in and all that and they're evading it, they know what they've done wrong.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people that have done they're not as much the self-starters and they've done the macro assessments. They have all the information, but they don't get off the launch pad even with their macro assessment.
Nope.
Because there's no boundaries. You
That's
get
it.
it? Like I've talked about it before. You could just put it in the drawer. You're not holding yourself. Nobody's holding you accountable to those macros.
Nope.
My one-on-one clients, I'm looking at your trackers and I'm like,
Yep.
hey, you didn't track yesterday. What happened there?
Yeah, what's going on? What's up with this?
What's going on? Or you only put 400 calories worth of stuff in your tracker. Okay, I'm assuming you went off the chains.
And it's funny because these are adults that act like kids, that they don't want to, like they're in trouble. You're not in trouble. We just need to work. I need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Just be honest. Be open and honest. You know what, coach? I slipped. It was a rough day.
Yeah.
This happened. All right, cool. Let's get back on the horse. Let's go.
Yeah. What led to that?
Yeah,
what caused you? How are you feeling leading into that? Are you being too restrictive during the week? That's the data we need to coach you out of it and coach you into better habits.
Yes.
But that's why a coach is valuable.
My client too, because collabing with him, and he was real low mood yesterday, real bad.
Yeah.
And he said he almost went down a rabbit hole. I said, don't. I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah.
I said, don't
you
do
talked
that.
him out of the rabbit hole?
Yeah, I said, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Don't medicate with alcohol. Don't use food as medication.
No,
Put on some good
exactly.
music. Put on an old movie. Something that'll get your spirits up.
Yeah. Good. You know what music is? That was a good advice. Music. Good music.
Good, blast the music, you guys.
Yeah.
Put some good ass music. If you're in low mood or something's not feeling good, put some good ass music. Put something that reminds you of your childhood, 80s, 90s,
Yeah.
whatever era you grew up in.
That brings you to a good place.
I used to listen to reggae because this weather would mess with my head. Lately, it hasn't been, but this weather would get me down too. And when I was feeling down, I'd always play reggae. When I was incarcerated, reggae.
Yeah, that's good. And now I want to go over some ways to help you set, what can you do to set resolutions that you're more likely to follow. And I also want to share that my big weight loss that I had, I always say I walked off 100 pounds. What was that, 25 years ago? That was a New Year's resolution. So
was it?
you talk a lot of crap about New Year's resolutions, but that was a New Year's resolution that stuck.
Okay, you fell in the 9% bracket.
I guess I did.
Very rare bracket, though. Sorry.
It was a New Year's resolution. And so I sat and thought, why was I able to accomplish that resolution? Why did it stick?
Because you're Janine, and you're one of those. You're vain. You're one of those. Once you make a decision, you stick with it.
I had a strong why. I was unhappy. And I knew that I wasn't at the time, I didn't feel like I was a good wife. I didn't feel confident in my motherhood. I just felt I was so unhappy. I didn't want to do anything social. I wanted to be happy and proud and show off my new baby and all of that. But I felt like I didn't want to leave the house because I was so unhappy.
You're embarrassed of yourself.
So I had a strong why. And I think that's what helped. And so it's important, if you are setting a New Year's resolution, have a strong, why do you want that?
Yep.
That's very important because you're going to need to go back to that why during weak moments.
Yep.
I also had a strong outcome goal. I had a strong specific goal. I wanted to weigh 130 pounds. That was my goal, 130 pounds. In addition to the outcome goal, this is the very important part, you need to have smaller behavior change goals that are going to get you to the outcome goal. You can't just throw a goal into the air and just close your eyes. What did I say? Close your eyes and change the lanes and hope
You're merging onto the freeway. You're going from the right to the left and close your eyes. I hope you don't hit no cars along the way. No.
So it's great. I had a strong why and I had a good outcome goal. I know specifically I wanted to be 130 pounds. Now I needed smaller goals that were behavior change goals that were going to get me to that. So how am I going to get to 130 pounds? And I picked counting calories and walking. I'm going to get to 130 pounds because I'm going to count my calories every day and stay within a calorie limit. And I am going to walk for 1 hour every day.
How hard was that, counting calories back then for you to do that diet you did back then? How difficult was that?
I mean, there was no aids back then. Nothing.
No, I know.
No smartphones.
Nothing. No.
There wasn't even a calculator on your phone.
Exactly.
You're literally in a notebook.
Yeah.
Calculating it out.
So that's what I'm saying.
It wasn't that hard.
You did there's a book called The Road Less Traveled. You did it the hard way.
It wasn't that hard because this is what I did to make it easy. I ate 1,200 calories a day, guys. Sorry. It was Women's Day magazine. I didn't track protein. I just counted calories. 1,200 calories. That's where I got the diet.
1,200.
But what I would do is figure out what exactly was 1,200 calories, and I would eat the same thing every day until I got sick of it. And then I would make some changes. But that way I wasn't always calculating and tracking. I just ate the same thing every single day until I got sick of it. And if you happen to be listening to this and you worked with me when I did this, that I'm telling the truth, because people would laugh at me going, Janine eats the same thing every day. I had a little sliver of an Entenmann's raspberry Danish that was tracked out because I would buy the long one and it would make 8 pieces. So I would buy one.
Divided total calories by 8 pieces. I got what you're saying.
And I would put it in the microwave and you could smell it. So my coworkers would smell that Danish every freaking day.
Okay.
Because I ate the same thing every day.
I know those Entenmann's.
But so I had that. So I counted calories, walked at lunch. And then my other goal was to lose 10 pounds a month. Because at the time I needed to lose 60 pounds. I had already lost some weight before I set my New Year's resolution. So Tyler was already 15 months old. The last 6 months before that, I had lost probably like 30 pounds.
Okay.
But my official New Year's resolution was to be 130 pounds by June. And I was 190 pounds.
Wow.
When I set that resolution. So I wanted to lose 10 pounds a month.
That's an aggressive goal.
Yeah.
And to do it just by walking and watching what you ate is pretty impressive, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And I did it, though. I met the goal. By June, I was 125 pounds.
Damn.
And then I kept going.
Of course you did.
I did. I just kept going. It was just
you went for that skinny
second
girl,
nature.
thin look.
Yeah. And listen, I'm not going to say that I had the most healthiest mindset back there towards the whole thing. In my mind, I thought I wanted to get skinny as possible so that I'd rather be too skinny than
I saw
too
a
fat.
picture of you back then.
I was so skinny.
Yeah, it didn't even look healthy.
Like I said, I'm not saying this was, but in terms of goal setting, hey, that's why I was able to do it. And that's why I didn't fail at my resolution, because I had a strong why. I had a specific outcome goal. Then I had smaller goals that were measurable along the way, that included behavior changes that were going to get me to that outcome goal. That is how you set New Year's resolutions that stick. So use that same method to set some good, actionable New Year's resolutions.
Exactly.
Last year I set a New Year's resolution. I'm proud of myself. I did obtain it. It was to average 10,000 steps a day. I was not very mobile prior to January 1st last year. I averaged 5,500 steps a day, even with my workouts.
Yeah.
And now I average probably 12 to 14,000 steps a day.
Big difference.
So I attained that New Year's resolution as well. I haven't decided what it's going to be this year, what I'm going to work on specifically. Obviously, we just talked about.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have
I
you
guess New Year's resolution is
Well, think about it. Don't you?
blow this podcast up, man.
But do you see? But you're already making a mistake. Blow this podcast up. Do you think that's a good New Year?
No, not only like that. There's steps to it. We're moving into a new studio and get going. And I have visions in my head
He
too.
didn't listen to any of
Yes, I
the
did.
rules I just gave him. You have to have a specific outcome goal.
I know.
Then you have to have smaller. So you can't just spout it off. You have to think about it. You have to have a specific outcome goal. Then you have to have smaller, measurable goals.
True.
And then a strong why and all of that. So you can't just, that's what people do. I'm not trying to beat you up, but that's the mistake people make. You
yeah.
just proved it. I just sat here and gave everybody all the specifics, and then you just spouted off. That's just, I want to get in shape. That's what you said right now by saying, I want to blow up the podcast.
Well, we are. I don't have no doubt in my mind, one bit. When I go after something, I go after it.
I understand, but do you understand what I'm saying by that?
Yes.
You have to be specific.
Yes.
So what does blowing up mean? So I guess we would have to determine how many downloads a month does blowing up mean, or a specific dollar amount or whatever. And then how are we going to reach that? We're going to reach that by adding more episodes, interviewing guests. Like,
Subscribers coming to the channel. We need more of those.
that's not a small goal, but
No. We need more subscribers coming to the
understand
channel.
that.
Yeah.
But
We're going to have
how
our
are we
listeners
going
help
to-
us push. I'm saying it right here. I'm calling. Hey, I'm calling you guys out. Come on. Push this show.
You know what I think?
We need our help. We need their
I
help.
think that you need to listen to this episode to
No, I'll be all right.
get some guidance on how to set.
People who know me know I get after it. Trust me.
I know that you get after it.
I get after things. I might do it a little differently, not your steps, but I know how to get after things.
But you don't agree with my steps?
Yeah, I do. I have my way of doing things too. I
Okay,
manifest
so-
things in my head as well.
Do you?
Everything I've ever manifested in my life is pretty much come to
You're
fruition.
right. You do.
I'm
You
super
are good
that.
at manifesting.
So,
Agree
and I'll get
that
back
you
there
are
again.
good at manifesting, but that's not what we're talking about.
No, I know.
So I would just feel
True.
like you could actually benefit, because I think you have a strong mind and you do have a good capability for manifestation. And I think if
Yep.
you applied the things that we talked about today into that, if you incorporated that, you could accomplish even that much more.
I'm sure I could.
If you became more intentional and specific with what you're working towards, you could accomplish that much more.
Yep.
So like for you, maybe it would be like your YouTube channel.
Yes.
Like I want like for me, I did actually set a goal for my YouTube channel. I want to blow it out of the water. I want 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So I want to blow it out of the
That's
water.
an aggressive goal.
It's an aggressive goal. So then it's like, how am I going to get to that? That
Yeah.
would mean that each month I need this amount of subscribers. How am I going to get more subscribers to the channel? Do a little bit more analysis on the data and then create better video, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So specifics. Do you remember or happen to recall any goal that you set for yourself last year? Did you set any specific
I don't know if I
goal?
did specifically, to be honest with you.
You did set a goal,
I did.
your cold showers,
Oh,
and you stuck to it.
that's right. I
You
did.
did.
December 1st.
Yeah.
I did.
So you did, and you did the cold showers.
And I did it through a whole year. And the only time I missed was recently when I got sick, but I did it over a year straight.
Yeah, you did. So there you go.
Nonstop.
And then another thing that you were successful in so far is what are we on? Almost going on 3 months of sobriety.
Yeah.
So that's a goal too.
Yeah.
To continue your.
What was it? October
November
30th?
1st.
October 31st
was the last
time I smoked some marijuana.
Oh, so you're 2 months.
2 months. Going into the third month.
Wow. That feels like a long 2 months because it was hell.
And it's been over 8 months since I had a drink.
Yeah, it's been 6 months for me.
I started before you. Yep.
I
just said I just don't want to do it no more. I don't know. I don't know why. It wasn't no reason. I just said I'm good. I don't need it. It's not conducive to my health. It's not benefiting me. So for what? That's what I thought.
For me, what I didn't reveal at the time when I stopped the drinking, I had blamed it on the sadness and the grieving of my mom. But what was really going on was the situation with my dad. The whole abusive situation, the narcissism. Yeah. And I was using alcohol on a Saturday morning to escape that a little bit. And that was a bad path. So I identified that as a bad habit that I was creating for myself.
Yeah, you were always having your Saturday morning drinks.
Yeah, that was not good.
After Orange Theory, after blasting a good workout, and then you go and drink.
And then I would be miserable the rest of the day. I would be down. I would say, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything today. Remember?
It's a downer. Made you lazy.
It is. It was a total downer. But you guys, I wanted to get on here and hold us accountable. You guys are listening to this episode on a Friday. Tonight, this evening, 5:30 Pacific time, we are going to go on YouTube Live. So we're going to test it out. Give us some grace because it's our first time doing a live on YouTube, but we are going to go live and just have a chit chat with you guys. We can talk a little bit more about goal setting, what your goals are for New Year's. We can answer questions. We could do just like a fun little Q&A. We're actually heading out to a friend's dinner that night, but before the dinner, we'll sit back here and take some questions. And so if you guys are interested, just go ahead and head over to our YouTube and tune in at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time to our live. And we'll see how that goes because hopefully we'll be able to do more of those in Studio B as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And then thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and follow us on Instagram. And we love you guys. And hopefully we will be chatting on Friday.